Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. So in this week's review we are going to be testing out the brand new L'Oreal Prime Lab Advanced Derm Primer. This one is the mattifying primer. As you can see, I'm an oily skin gal, and if you're wondering why I look like I've been wearing my makeup all day, it's because I have. So I thought to fully test drive this primer I would have to use it from the crack of dawn all the way to this evening, and that is exactly what I've done. So before we jump straight into it, if you haven't already, make sure you follow me on my socials. I've got an Instagram, a Vinted and a TikTok. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already for more videos like this, and here are some facts about the new primer from L'Oreal. So this primer is one of, I believe, 4 different versions of primers. Each one serves a different purpose. So this one that I've got here is the mattifying primer. As you can see, she needs it. They also have a pore shrinking primer, a correctional primer for if you've got any redness in your skin, and I think there's a brightening primer as well. All of these primers are retailing for $11.99, but as usual with L'Oreal, they do an introductory price which is slightly reduced at $9.99, so I picked this one up from my local Boots for that price. These primers in particular are marketed to be slightly different from their usual primers, mainly because they are used with formulas that have skincare properties in them. So for this product in particular, it's supposed to be a rebalancing primer to help reduce oiliness over time whilst you're wearing it. So this primer in particular has the acids LHA and salicylic acid. There's 1% in here, which might not seem like a lot, but your skin is very sensitive and sometimes less is more. So starting out this video a lot earlier in the morning, I'm going to cut to a clip of me at 7:30 this morning applying the primer for the first time. I like to hope that I tell you everything that I want to do, but I can't be 100% just because it was 7:30 in the morning. So here we go. So it's currently about 20 past 7 in the morning. I'm just about to apply my makeup and use this primer for the first time. The consistency of this product is not as firm as I thought it was going to be. It's more just like a kind of thicker milky glaze, I guess. Apply that onto my skin, mainly focusing on the areas that I find get oily the most. So the T-zone for me is a big one, especially around my nose here. The consistency of this product on my skin is a lot lighter. Normally with mattifying primers and things, they kind of have a bit of a texture to them because it's just like a film that goes over your skin. This feels very light. It's slowly going tacky and then starting to dry down. Before applying the primer, I'd already washed my face and then moisturised. You must always moisturise even if your skin is super oily. Whilst I'm talking to you, my timer is saying 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Pretty much dried completely down from that texture. No shininess in the areas that I've applied it to. I'm now going to do the rest of my makeup and see how this applies underneath my usual products. Right, so first layer of foundation on. First layer. It sounds like I'm going to apply 7 or something. Gone on pretty normal. I'm just passing it in after using this brush to apply. This is, like I said, a liquid foundation and it's drying down pretty quickly. There's no shine. Doesn't look like it's not sticking to any of my problem areas, mainly on my nose and on my chin. Coverage is looking pretty good. Might need to just go over it a little bit more on the chin. My makeup went on perfectly. So I set with powder, as you can see, and then I will check back in with you in a few hours. So you can definitely see there that I'm 100% not used to talking to anybody that early in the morning. I applied the primer, went on really well with my normal makeup, just all is good, all is well at that point. I did another check-in probably around about noon, I think, whilst I was at work, and my skin still looked pretty good, as you can see from these clips. Then did another cheeky check-in at around about 4:30, 5 o'clock maybe. Skin was still looking matte, everything was looking great. It had rubbed away on some places on my face, but other than that, most of the areas on my face were almost exactly the same as when I first applied it. Just a little bit of a sheen coming towards the end of the day, but normally around about lunchtime, that's when I really start to get the oil pockets around the corners of my nose. And just before I sat down to film this video, this is what my skin looks like up close right now. So after I've gone off and done my whole life for the day, basically, I thought it would just be a bit more true to test for me to actually go out and do normal people things rather than apply my makeup and sitting at home, because you don't get the variations of weather, you don't get the variations of warmth and cold. bold. You don't get the variations of me trying to do maths whilst I'm at my desk. All of these things just made it a lot more realistic to someone's normal day-to-day life when it comes to wearing a primer. At this point now, whilst we're sat down and having a chat, it is 8:30 and I'm ready to take it off and I'm ready to do my other skincare and I'm ready to go to bed. But it has held up so well throughout the day. The consistency of the primer really shocked me. It was a lot more liquidy than I thought it was going to be. Usually with primers like that where they're mattifying, they have a lot more of a gritty texture and a lot of a more viscous texture. The product dried down super quick onto my skin. It was tacky, which really helps when it comes to applying the rest of your makeup on top. It just sort of adds a tacky layer for your makeup to grip onto. Dried really well with my products that I use on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes depending on the ingredients, it can sort of cause a bit of friction between the products. Say if you've got a water-based product and then you use one which is oil-based, they just kind of like sit on top of each other rather than blending in together. Held onto my makeup for most of the day. Obviously you'll see from the clips that I showed you, it has rubbed a little bit away from my chin, but the rest of my face is still looking good. There is a bit of a sheen, but naturally that's going to happen. Also, no one's skin naturally is super matte. I used to absolutely love having a completely matte face, like no highlighter, no dewy products, nothing. I wanted my skin to look as flat as the moon. The moon's not flat. I meant as flat as a pancake. But when you actually look at what someone's natural skin looks like, dewy, glowy, a little bit of a sheen, you know, just bright. The times have changed. It used to be fashionable to have a super matte face, but now people want their makeup to more look like skin rather than you're wearing makeup, and I 100% am on that bandwagon. I really like the fact that they've included within this formula skincare products. I feel much more happier applying makeup to my skin knowing that there are some things in there that are helping. Over time, it will reduce and rebalance that oiliness on your skin, because that is one of the things that salicylic acid. So if anything, if someone says you're going to get spots if you wear too much makeup, you go, well, I've actually got skincare in my makeup, so maybe not quite that if it's like your parents or something. You get 30 millilitres of product within this tube. $11.99 I don't think is a bad price, because that is going to last you a long time. For the amount of product that I actually used versus how big my moon head is, it was very minuscule. It was like almost just larger than a pea size amount. And honestly, by now, my skin would usually be an oil slick. We're looking great. I could probably go the rest of the evening. I wouldn't want to, but I probably could go out and then come back and my makeup would still be relatively okay. But for now, I would probably give this product about like a 7.5 out of 10. All round, it's good value for money. The product works well. It does what it says on the tube. Like I said, love the fact that there's skincare built in within the formula and you don't need loads of it, so you're not buying loads of it all the time. It's one thing I hate about certain products. They're so minuscule. You just have to keep buying them and buying them all the time. So that was my thoughts on the new L'Oreal Prime Lab Advanced Derm Primer. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up so I know. It really does help me out a lot. I'll also leave links to this product in the description in case you want to try it out for yourself. And I'll also throw in some links to my socials if you want to give those a follow. I've got an Instagram, I've got a Vinted, and I've got a TikTok in case you want to follow me on any of those. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye guys.